Today's episode was sponsored by Saley. Okay, I got pants, shirt, dress pants, dress shirt, underwear, swimsuit, extra underwear, more underwear, snacks for the plane, snacks for the ride over, extra snacks in case I eat my ride over snacks too quickly and then I eat my plane snacks and I'm left without anything for the plane. Knife in case we crash into the mountains and I have to defend myself from wolves. A backup knife in case the TSA finds my wolf knife. A sexy red dress in case I get arrested for having too many knives in my bag and I need to seduce a prison guard like Bugs Bunny and escape. Tent for hiding in the forest until the heat dies down. Third knife for forest wolves. Sunscreen. Yeah, I think I'm ready to go. I like to be prepared for any possibility when I travel. And that's why I use Saley. Saley is an eSIM that gives you access to the internet wherever you travel without having to worry about excessive roaming fees. With Saley, all you have to do is install one single eSIM, choose from one of many affordable plans, and enjoy your trip without having to worry about paying an arm and a leg for internet. Saley is compatible with iOS and Android devices, requires no extra equipment to install, and has plans available in over 180 countries. So even if your trip includes multiple stops, you're good to go. Right now, Saley is offering my viewers a special discount. So download the app or follow the link below and use code Willie at checkout to get 15% off on your purchase. Hey, yeah, thank you so much to Saley for sponsoring this episode, and let's get on with the video. Ah, shoot, I forgot my toothbrush. Hey guys, Willie from the future here. Before I begin, I do just want to take a second to apologize for my facial hair. I'm currently in the process of growing out a mustache as part of a video I'm making. But when I decided to make that video, I did not take into account the fact that I film my face every day to make videos. And so people are going to see it. And yeah, right now it's in a very unfortunate stage of its growth. I hope. Maybe this is as long as it gets. I don't know. We'll see. Watch the video. But I don't know. I hope it's not too distracting. Actually, it'll probably be more distracting now that I pointed it out. But I couldn't have you guys watching this thinking that I think this looks good. I don't. I'm hoping it'll look better. But I don't know. I got to make do with what my body is capable of. And my body is capable of what looks like pencil shavings, basically. Why am I doing this? I don't know. Let's start the episode. Hello, fellow boners. I should probably come up with a better name for you guys than that, but welcome back to my ongoing deep dive into the mid-2000s procedural drama Bones. Last week, I covered Season 5, Episode 13, The Dentist in the Ditch. And today I'm going to be covering Season 5, Episode 13, The Dentist in the Ditch. But like a different part of it. Basically what happened is that in my last video, I spent way too much time talking about the A story. Because I had a lot to say about it. By the time I got to the B story, my video was already running kind of long, so I decided I might as well just make it its own separate thing, because if anything, I have more to say about it than the A story. This episode did not age well. Still, though this is technically a part 2, you won't need to have watched part 1 to understand what's going on here. I mean, you should, because I'll be sad if you don't, but it's not technically necessary. Basically, the only thing you need to know is that the other story was about gay. There's not that much more to it than that. The story I'm going to discuss today involves Booth's brother Jared coming back into town, and somehow it manages to be more offensive than the gay story from 2009. So yeah, let's get into it.
Is that work or solitaire? Ah, little brother, look at you.
Do big brothers actually call their little brother, or did the writers just want to make extra sure that the audience knows how that guy is related to Booth? I don't know. I feel like if my brother greeted me like that, I would mock him for at least an hour. Hello, little brother. It sounds very proper.
How are you? Hey, I thought you were biking across India.
I was. You know what else? I survived. I biked through Sikkim. I hiked to the top of Himachal Pradesh. I even learned a few dirty jokes in Hindi. You want to hear one?
You didn't get yourself in any more trouble, did you?
Not unless you count falling in love.
That right there is their relationship in a nutshell. Jared is the fun, freewheeling, fuck-up younger brother, and Booth is the responsible older brother who's always had to look after him. And I don't know, maybe this is just the younger brother in me speaking, but I'm already on Jared's side in this episode. Booth very clearly resents him a little bit after years of cleaning up his messes, which I get. But if you're sick of always having to bail him out of trouble, maybe don't ask him if he's in trouble. Even if there is trouble, he's clearly not trying to involve you in it, and he's solidly in his 30s, so maybe you should just sit back and relax and listen to a dirty joke in Hindi.
Wow. Falling in love, really? How? I was swimming with elephants in the Andaman Islands when out of nowhere, Padme swan dives off a cliff, nearly killing both of us.
Padme.
Padme Delage. It's a beautiful name, right?
Is there something wrong with the name Padme, Booth? The racial politics of the early half of this episode feel hinky to me in a way that I think I may be too white to fully comprehend. The way Booth reacts here leads me to believe that we're supposed to think that rushing into a relationship with an Indian woman is more reckless than rushing into a relationship with an American woman. I guess a generous reading of it might be that Booth is assuming she doesn't speak English, which would make the relationship a little bit more complicated, but even still, there are a lot of English speakers in India, so that feels like a weird thing to assume.
I'm thinking of asking this girl to marry me.
Congratulations, I gotta get that. It's my special murder line.
Okay, you go ahead and save the world.
Maybe I'm just a bad brother, but I truly cannot fathom giving this much of a fuck about my siblings' relationships. And that's not to say that I can't comprehend the idea of hating my brother's significant other, because of course I can. I don't think I ever have. Often I like them more than my brothers, but I get how you could. If they suck and they're always around, that would be annoying. Also, I imagine you probably want what's best for your sibling or something gay like that, but mostly I just don't need more people who suck in my life. Still, I feel like it would take me a while to get to a place where I feel that way, because I super never want to feel that way. I'd much rather just like whoever they're with. If my brother likes them enough that I'm meeting them, that means that they probably make him very happy, and I would not want to be the thing that gets in the way of that. Mostly because that sounds like a lot of work, but still. It would only be after many, many, many instances of suckiness that I'd actually allow myself to succumb to my emotions. And even then, I don't think I'd say anything. I'd do the normal thing and go into the kitchen with my other brother so we can talk shit on her. Booth seems to feel differently, though. He's so torn up over the mere idea that he might not like his brother's girlfriend that he's focused on that over the murder he's investigating.
Jared's only known her for a month. 1 month.
Confederate soldiers at Farmville were so hungry they scavenged seed and corn from horse excrement.
Okay, I've watched this episode like 6 times to make this video, and I still don't fully get why they included that last line. Still, though she's clearly not a great listener, I do think that Bones is used very well in this episode. They take her overly literal robot shtick and flip it on its head as a way to call Booth out for how irrational he's being.
But who marries someone after a month?
I thought you believed in love at first sight.
Only in the movies, right? Not for Jerry.
And here's the thing, I don't disagree with Booth. I think it's crazy to marry someone after a month. Frankly, I think it's crazy to marry someone after less than a decade, but I still don't fully get why this is such a big deal to him. Maybe it's just because I'm bracing myself for the possibility of it being outlawed for me, but marriage is a legal contract for taxes and shit. The feelings they have for one another are going to be there whether they make it official or not. Even if this relationship is a dumb thing to do, it's already done. Whatever Booth is worried will happen when it goes south is already going to happen. Do I think they should get a prenup? Absolutely I do, but other than that, you kind of just gotta let people make whatever stupid decisions they're gonna make. Also, for what it's worth, they do seem like a pretty cute couple.
We were in Bangalore visiting the Karnataka Bilur temple when a pickpocket stole my wallet. Jared climbed onto the roof of a building and tackled the thief.
Alright, in Booth's defense, it is a little concerning how many of their stories sound like they almost died, but you know, people do dumb things on vacation. Hopefully now that they're out of Bangalore, that won't be an issue.
I'm amazed at how good your English is. It's perfect.
That happens when you grow up in Alexandria, Virginia. I'm third-generation American.
Yes, you are. Thank you for setting me up and making me look like an idiot. Yeah, it's just normal little brother stuff.
Ah, God, it must have been exhausting to be an Asian American actor working in the Oddies. I've seen about 6 million variations on that joke, and never once has it been funny. The fact that they included it also seems to support my whole the show thinks it would have been worse if she weren't American theory, because this scene is clearly meant to make us come around on her. At first, we're meant to be on Booth's side, because clearly they're rushing into this, but then we meet her and see that they're good together, and we're supposed to realize, like, oh, actually, Booth's just being overprotective here.
So what is it that you do for a living, Padme?
She's a bank robber.
It's a normal question, you know? She's very glamorous. I thought maybe she worked at some glamorous job.
Hardly. I teach grade school.
Celia's got a kid in 3rd grade. His name's Parker.
There's no one named Parker at my school.
She's a kid's favorite teacher, Celia.
Okay, never mind. I don't like them anymore. They're gross. Truly, I can't imagine a situation where I'm kissing in front of my brothers, except maybe my wedding. And even then, I might ask them to step out before it happens. Still, though she's clearly lovely, Booth doesn't trust her, and so he does something a wee bit drastic.
You ran a background check on Jared's girlfriend?
Well, yeah, you do things like that for people you care about.
Do you do that when I go out with her?
Look, Bones, you're the one who says not to jump to conclusions without all the facts.
But you always say in matters of the heart.
The heart is just a muscle. See? I'm learning from you, huh?
It honestly feels kind of weird that he's being this paternalistic about his brother. Everything I know about Booth leads me to believe that his opinions on his brother's romantic life should be like, come on, Bones, we're guys, we don't talk about stuff like that. Football. Honestly, if you think about it for as long as I have, there's something kind of subversive about this storyline. I feel like it would normally be a man freaking out about who a woman dates. So to see it play out with 2 straight guys is kind of refreshing. Don't worry though. This episode is still extremely regressive.
Anyways, this whole background check came up hinky.
Hinky, how?
4 years ago, this woman was an escort. Jared's gonna be crushed.
Why? I'm sure she possesses sophisticated sexual skills, and if she's reformed...
She's just reformed. She's a reformed escort.
Why is it so ingrained in society that it's bad to be a sex worker? I've never really understood that. I guess the obvious answer is just that we're puritanical, but like, why were the Puritans such assholes about it? I feel like Jesus made it very clear that we are not supposed to judge them. Honestly, I think it must have been something small and stupid that just spiraled out of control. Like, I bet there was a sex worker in ancient Sumer who was charging too much, and so someone started a smear campaign to try and drive down her prices. I guess it could also be that sex work was a way that women could amass power and money independently of men, and men didn't like that. Honestly, that's probably what it was. Usually, when I have a question about why things are the way they are, the answer is just society hates women. Still, whatever the case, it really stuck. It carried from the ancient world to the Puritans all the way to 2009, where Booth is standing there acting like this woman should be wearing a scarlet letter on her chest. Which is honestly just so fucked up. Even if sex work were bad, Booth's reaction would still be really extreme. Right now, he's basically just saying that this woman is undeserving of love. And what makes it worse is that Booth works for the FBI, so he should know very well that not everyone chooses to get into the field. It doesn't seem like that's the case here, but it does make his whole "who wants to date a reformed escort" philosophy that much more unforgivable. Bones has a much better attitude towards the situation than Booth, but even her opinions still reek of 2009. Though she generally doesn't care, it still seems like her views here are less "it's okay to be a sex worker" and more "she doesn't do it anymore, so we should forgive her." And as best as I can tell, Bones represents the point of view of the episode as a whole. I think we're supposed to not judge this woman, but not necessarily extend that same grace to all sex workers. The show makes it very clear that the girlfriend was an escort, and it seems like we're supposed to know that there's a distinction there, and that one is the best one.
4 years ago, Jared's girlfriend was a hooker?
But an escort. I believe in the hierarchy of prostitution, an escort ranks equal to high-class call girl.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure where she's getting that ranking system, but I don't think anything she just said actually makes sense.
And now she teaches grade school?
Another thing I've never understood, why would that be so bad? Don't get me wrong, I think if I found out that my kid's teacher was a sex worker, I'd be upset. But only because that means that the system is so fucked up that they have to work 2 jobs. Even by their own stupid logic, it doesn't really add up to me. My guess is that the fear is that they'd corrupt your kids by seducing them or something stupid like that, but it doesn't really make much sense because there's a clear barrier to entry there. Kids don't have money. The teachers you should be afraid of are the ones giving it away for free. And I think that logic is the key word here. I think the goal of the episode is to have Bones struggle with the logic of what Booth is saying as a way of pointing out that it's actually not logical. And again, I think this is one of the stronger aspects of the episode, but in order to pull it off, they have to dumb Bones down in a way that I didn't love. She takes everything Booth says completely at face value to a degree that's honestly kinda concerning at times.
Apparently, the rule is once a sex worker, always a sex worker.
I get that this is her shtick, but sometimes the show takes it too far and makes her seem like a baby in the body of a doe-eyed adult. Like she has traveled the world as an anthropologist. My guess is that she'd have encountered sex work enough that she'd have a stronger opinion on the subject than that.
You know, it really would have been better if Booth never ran her record.
He said it was my influence, that it was the rational thing to do.
No, sweetie, he's rationalizing. Which makes what he did irrational because he's rationalizing that Jared cannot make rational decisions for himself.
Once again, Angela is the smartest person in the lab. Which is why this line later on extra pissed me off.
Do you know what Vincent Nigel Murray is? He's a genius.
Yes, but so are we all, except for Angela.
The things she casually invents on a daily basis should mean that she's mentioned in the same breath as Nikola Tesla. And I truly don't think you've ever actually solved a case without her, so maybe a little more respect, Bones. Whatever, these people aren't real. Booth tells Jared what he learned from the background check, and somehow it goes worse than you might expect.
Oh, okay. You got that
Big brother look all over your face, like the time you had to tell me the puppy I brought home was a rat. It sort of happened again.
Jesus Christ! Okay, first things first, how big was that rat? More importantly, though, that is one of the meanest things I've ever heard anyone say about another human being. And I've worked on the internet for a decade at this point, so that's saying something. Unsurprisingly, Jared is not too pleased with his brother right now.
Okay, what the hell are you talking about? There are some things that you need to know about Padme. You ran a background check on my girlfriend?
What? No, she was arrested for prostitution 4 years ago.
Shut up, Seeley. Shut
The charges, they didn't stick, but you need to know that she was an escort.
You just can't stand to see me happy, can you?
No, it's not true. If I were in your shoes, I'd want to know if my girlfriend was hiding something.
No, you wouldn't. Okay, I have watched you for years. I learned. You would make your own judgment. You wouldn't care what other people said. You'd say exactly what I'm gonna say. Go to hell.
Why did Booth do this at his office? I feel like if I were going to give my brother news guaranteed to make him make a scene, I'd stay as far away from my place of business as possible. Or at least wait until after work hours. The episode all comes to a head when Bones' inability to make sense of Booth's logic essentially just causes her to malfunction.
When your gut speaks to you, do you think it could be an increase in stomach acid due to anxiety?
Huh?
I feel some anxiety.
Okay, about what?
About your sudden abandonment of a belief system. Really, it's making my stomach upset.
Okay, you know what? You are really just, crack a window there, Bones, or just get some air.
You told me that my father's criminal past didn't matter, that the love between us was real, and that was all that mattered. Because I believed you, my father and I have a relationship today.
Okay, I'm glad I could help out.
I'm anxious because I can't see any meaningful difference between my father and your brother's girlfriend.
Okay, so this is from the Bones wiki. Her dad has a section on his page that's just about his victims. Spoilers, I guess. Garrett Delaney, shot in the head with a .22 handgun, gutted and set on fire. Robert Kirby, stabbed in the back of the head with a misery cord, gutted and set on fire. Not sure what a misery cord is. Valeska Miller, tortured for information on Booth. Unnamed prisoner, stabbed with a copper pipe in self-defense in 1966, survived. Heather Taffet, attempted to kill her. Christopher Pilon, attempted to kill him. Marvin Barlow, grave robbing charges were dropped by Booth. That's nice. Goran Milovic, shot in the chest. Andre Belgrader, also shot in the chest. And granted, at least 2 of those people were serial killers, but still, I can see a meaningful difference between her father and his brother's girlfriend. But I get what they're going for here, and it is well-intentioned. The overall message of this episode does seem to be in favor of not judging people. After seeing Bones torn up, Booth reconsiders his point of view, and then the 4 of them go out together.
I think we can talk outside privately. No. Whatever you want to say, you can say to the both of us. See, we don't have secrets, Seeley. Never did. About anything.
I suspect Jared is implying that he already knew about Padme's past as an escort.
Great, thanks, Bones. I got that.
Jared and I have come to grips with everything.
Yeah. So the question is, are you in or are you out?
I don't really know that this is the start of the healthiest of marriages. Even if Booth learned his lesson, he's still always going to be the brother who did a background check on her and tried to break them up, so I feel like there's bound to be more tensions down the line. That said, though, the politics of this episode could have been worse. But they also could have been much, much, much better. This episode kind of takes it as a given that it's bad to be a sex worker, so no matter how much they try to steer its message towards being around non-judgment, it still ends up feeling pretty judgy. And here's the thing, I get where they were coming from. I mean, I hope it's clear, but just in case it's not, I will say for the record that I am pro-sex workers now. I actually think I technically am one. For more on that, you can check out this video. Still, I don't know that I would have had that same attitude when I was watching this back in 2009, which is weird because I think I supported it back then too. Had you asked me if people should be allowed to pay each other for sex, I absolutely would have been like, yeah, sure, who gives a fuck? But even still, I don't think I would have questioned why Booth is being such an asshole here. Like I said, the idea that sex work is bad is ingrained in us. When this episode came out, it was taken as such a given that I would not have thought twice about it. Which is honestly kind of scary. I've said it before, but what I like about watching Bones is seeing just how much has changed since it first aired. And what makes this story extra fascinating is how unexpected that change would have felt to me back then. If you traveled back in time and said there are words they say in this episode that your future self won't feel comfortable saying on camera, I don't think I would have been able to guess which ones. And it does make me wonder, what am I missing now? I think on some level, we all operate like Booth does in this episode. We get so focused on how things have always been that it makes us irrational in ways that we don't even realize. I have no doubt that something I said in this video will not age well. And I just hope that when future me looks back on this one day, he will have grown enough that he regrets it. Whatever it is. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably that thing about students not being able to afford their teachers. That did feel like it was towing a bit of a line. But yeah, that's my video. Please like and subscribe and share and comment. And I always think there's more. There's not. You guys know. You know what to do. If you have some expendable income, you can also consider supporting the channel by giving on Patreon or becoming a member or giving me a super thanks, which, speaking of, I have some super thanks to super thanks back. So thank you to Soft Sad Boy, Schlabadoo22, Cardinal8494, Sorry Sod, Ryflux, Leah maybe? Nick Great Artist, Marks7920, Pazuzu Paws 1515, Dr. Skellabone, Scary, 404 Lyric, Bosock Sesjin 5519, Cephalons, Soft Sad Boy, Arrow Onion Belly, Bex Machina. I think I'm caught up, but let me just see if there are some I responded to. 1 second. Don't go. You can go. I don't give a fuck. What am I looking for? I responded. Contains super thanks. Zen watches you. Mark7920. Jenny Lacko 5396. Simone Wilcox 3316. Best Frau. Tara 2944. Nortara changes. I think that's everyone. If I missed you, please let me know. And I will super thanks you. Also, for those following the saga, I accidentally started an illegal lottery, possibly. I couldn't figure out if I did. I think that I didn't, but I've seen conflicting views on the matter. So, I wasn't sure what to do because I told people to sign up for my memberships in order to enter this lottery. And I was going to offer a free version of entering the lottery to make it super legal, but then that felt deceptive to people who signed up to enter the lotteries. So I'm just going to say, let's be cool about this. Nobody report me to the Gaming Commission. And if you are from the Gaming Commission watching, I still think this is legal what I'm doing. I just got made a little nervous. So what I'm going to do is do this, and then that'll probably be the end of my raffles until I figure out how to not wonder if I am breaking the law. With that out of the way, though, let's spin. All right, let's go lesbians. Congratulations. I'll find you on Patreon or memberships, whichever one you're on, and I'll get your information. Thank you to everyone who entered. I am sorry that I am bad at this. But yeah, that's the episode. Just kidding. We're still the part where I pose. Also I have a soda now. All right. So, for this one, I don't know. I think I just need to make myself look. I feel like genuinely it doesn't matter the reaction. It's just how good of a picture I pick of myself, cuz I feel like for the Christmas one, it wasn't the best picture of me and I feel like that hurt views. So, let me just do my hair. Ugh. Hopefully I can Photoshop out this trash stash of mine. Looks like I killed the Black Dahlia. Alright, ears. Ears are very in. So I'm focusing on less on reaction and more on pretty. I do love I did like it's completely unintentional, but I started out this channel by doing America's Next Top Model stuff, and then posing became a big part of it, and I feel like I've learned that from America's Next Top Model. I don't know what that means. But I'm gonna take Tyra's advice. So that's my better angle. God, my mustache is gross. Oh. Hopefully it gets better. If you're interested in learning why I did this to myself, there will be a video about it one day. So check that out, because a lot more people will watch this video than that video, so maybe I can drive some traffic over there when it happens. But like, okay, so what's my better? Like, so I think like big eyes. Does that make? I don't know. That looks kind of creepy. Okay. I had to do a reaction shot in this video, and I had to redo it because I looked back and I was like this, like, and I was like, that doesn't look like human emotion. My point being, do I have a point? So my screen is really confusing because it's like helicopter rules. So I just got really freaked out because I did. Can't figure out which side of my face I'm, because it's like, it flips. I don't think I have object permanence. Tyra says, the neck makes the model. So. Am I a pretty girl or am I a model? Neither. I'm a boy. I forget sometimes that people are going to see this, and it goes on for a really long time. And I never watched this part back, so, but in this moment, I'm realizing I should not have kept this going for as long as I have. One more.